The sun is trying to pop out and it's a balmy 40-something degrees Fahrenheit. And today, just a little bit behind schedule, I am going to get into that greenhouse where I've been making soil mix. And since I'm kind of done with that, I gotta somehow pull those boxes of mix out and stash them somewhere so I can kind of dig into the beds, throw a little fertilizer, some rotted composted seaweed down in there. And then I want to throw this snow while I have the chance over the top to get the soil good and wetted, because I'd like to plant some seeds in there. What's eventually going to be in there is cucumbers. So if I've got some things growing up around them, it doesn't really matter. You know, little squat sort of plants. So that's the plan for today. Okay, so I need like one big plastic tote or maybe a bunch of little totes to stick the soil mix in, but this will do for now. Okie dokie, so right here at the end, I have this little bit of composted seaweed, and I think it's going to be just enough to get the 2 beds out there, enough to grow cucumbers. Now I'm going to prep for cucumbers. Okay, so I'm digging a little trench here, and then I'm putting this composted seaweed in here. And then I'm just going to go all the way down the bed. Alrighty, I've got everything trenched and compost in the trench and all neatened up. So I was able to pull all the compost out of this bin, which is pretty cool because then I have all these bins are full. So this will allow me to throw some scraps and stuff in here. I did end up pulling the tarps over these boxes of soil mix, so in case it rains. Yeah, I'm digging snow. Ha ha. That might be enough snow. Alrighty, so I cleared out here along the fence line and over there because I'd like to get the fence back up this week. Pull the tarp off the garlic, not worry about the deer fiddling around in here. I got pretty lucky with the weather. It started raining as soon as I came back out. I'm putting everybody to bed here in this greenhouse, and I took a look and we've got some Green Wave mustard coming up, along with our little bits of arugula. Hi, silly. Alrighty, so I've pulled the row cover off the beds, and it was 36 Fahrenheit last night, and the forecast is for well above freezing for the foreseeable future. So, let's see, it is right now 46 at about noon. And these guys will be spending their first night without row cover. Hi, I'm making soil blocks. I ended up making these 2-inch blocks for the cucumbers. And man, for some reason, for whatever reason, it is easier to make these bigger soil blocks. They pop out of the soil block maker a lot easier. I don't know, whatever. But for the basil and for the bok choy, I'm just going to use these 1.5-inch size. And for green onions, cilantro, and dill, I'm just using these little tubs with about a little over 1 inch of soil in them. Hi, I'm seeding soil blocks. See all the robins All of the robins out in the garden eating all sorts of bugs. Oh my gosh, there are so many of them. Yay, you guys. Can you see all the robins? Check that out. Oh boy. Get 'em! Get 'em! All of the robins fly away, but the little juncos aren't afraid. They keep eating bugs. All right, so I stashed my fencing up here for the winter, so I want to pull that out and get the fencing up. Alrighty, so I got the main fence up. I need a remnant back in the back there. So now I can get in and out of here. I never did set up a proper gate door. I had problems with setting up proper doors. Okay, so I've got this remnant attached on either side of the greenhouse. And what I'm seeing now is some Tah Tsai mustard popping up, and also some Palco spinach. It's just a few little guys popping up in this bed. Okay, so I'm gonna pull the tarp off the garlic here and let it grow. Let it grow, let it grow, let it grow, let it grow. Oh boy, folks, take a look at this. Yay. My little guys are popping up. Oh boy, take a look at that. I'm bringing my little pot of mint out onto its rock over here. Oh, God. Oh. There we go. Don't fall over, buddy. And the parsley's coming up. Kind of. Oh, there's a tire tot. I'll show you the parsley. Curly parsley will make it through a winter. And here's my pot of mint hanging out on his little rock. Okay, so the next thing I need to do is get these tarps pulled off my raspberries. I think we get our shot in about an hour or so. Alrighty. Oh boy. I forgot how many I had. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 raspberries. And they're under these leaves. Let's see if they're still alive. He's got little buds on him. Okay, so I need to pop these guys out. Okay, so I got all my little guys out from underneath there, and I think it'll be fine if I wait and put deer fencing around them later, because I think they're just little buds and hopefully the deer won't bother with them. And so I got everything that I needed to kind of get done right away. I've got it done. So in case I get sick, it'll be all right. Alrighty, I got nervous and I quickly threw up some branches and put some mesh deer fencing around these little raspberry friends. I can see my hairy armpits.
Well, blame that way.
Okay, I'm taking another one for the team. Yeah. Are we done?
You're done.
So we'd been hearing from our friends in town after they got the second shot that the next day they felt like crap. And then the day after they felt fine. And that's exactly what happened to us. Hi, silly. Are you enjoying the sun? From my most recent batch of starts up here at the house, no onions germinating yet, but we've got some little bok choys popping up. And under lights, I have cucumbers and basil, which will eventually go out into the greenhouse. And then I also have dill and cilantro, which I think I'm just going to try growing to maturity under lights. And then in the back here, I have Italian kale and Salanova lettuce, which I had started in those mini plugs weeks ago. The kale did not come up very well at all, but the Salanova lettuce did really well. So I need to get these little plugs out to the greenhouse. Bok choy is now out here in the greenhouse with all of the other starts. And all the starts are doing really good except for my Italian kale, which came up really spotty. Not that they have spots on them, but the germination wasn't very good. And so I may go ahead and make another tray of soil blocks. And so I'll have an extra thing of Italian kale just in case. I've been using rainwater that I've been collecting in buckets, you know, to water in the greenhouse every morning. But the hoses are thawed out now, so I think I'm going to stretch them out and get them pulled out here. The other day I was seeing the Palco spinach come up in this bed, and now today I've noticed that the Corvair spinach is coming up. So that variety of spinach is tailing behind as usual. Hey, this is the first time this year that I put my flip-flops on. And first time this year that temperature has been 60 degrees Fahrenheit. We moved up past the 50s. The birds have been pretty well rototilling the beds here. Just like rototilling all of the seaweed off of it into the pathways. And so I ended up clearing this pathway down the center here, just moving the seaweed to the side so I can run a hose down through here to the greenhouses. But I imagine they'll just kind of like dig through here and just move it back into the pathway again. Okay, so right now I've got one hose coming out here that I can just, you know, fill up the watering can with. And I've got it set up like I did last year, where I have a filter kind of right there. And I covered this in a previous video. Ugh. Systems for filter. It's kind of hard to believe that only last week it was snowing, but we've still got some snow on the ground to prove it. Oakley dokley. So I'm gonna call it quits mostly for the week. I'm just gonna go ahead and fold up those tarps by the raspberry plants, and yeah, I'll talk next week about what I'm going to do out here in the garden to prep the beds for this year. And also, I don't want all that snow that I moved onto the beds in this greenhouse here. I don't want that effort to go to waste. There's still moisture down in there, but with these hot days, it's kind of drying out the surface. So I'll be able to kind of water that in now that I got a hose, and I can get a lot more water easily. Yeah, this is so cool. These birds are just going through here, and it seems like the beds where I had the most problem with cutworms and stuff are being the most wrecked. So yeah, come on out here and wreck it, birds. Anyway, I'll see you guys next week. Check this out, man. This is the craziest looking moth butterfly thing I have ever seen. Can you get closer? That's crazy. Looks like a 1960s carpet.